Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix. And another Florida story, like I promised. Like I said, I don't know what's going on in Florida. But before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. So, this is what we have. A person who impersonated a doctor has now, and mind you, after they got caught impersonating a doctor, they went to jail for it. In addition to trying to steal a Jaguar with a credit card. But after they got out of jail, they decided to do more shenanigans. And here we are. So let me get to the story. Fake teen doctor, now 25, sentenced to prison for new scam. All right. West Palm Beach, Florida. A serial grifter who gained national infamy as a teenager when he impersonated a doctor to defraud a patient is heading back to prison after pleading guilty to stealing more than $10,000 from his employer. Malachi Love Robinson, so much that, whatever, 25 years old, received a sentence of over 2 years and 4 months last week after pleading guilty in Palm Beach County, Florida, to grand theft and organized scheme to defraud. Court documents show that in 2020, Robinson was working as a salesperson for a company that connects shippers with trucking companies. Instead of having customers make payments to the company, Love Robinson would have them send the money to accounts he controlled. Love Robinson first came to national attention in 2016 as an 18-year-old when he was arrested after opening the New Birth, New Life Medical Center, identifying himself as Dr. Love. I'm not making this up, I promise, for those listening. He stole $30,000 from a patient in her 80s during house calls and an additional $20,000 from a doctor. He was arrested after he examined and prescribed treatment to an undercover police officer who was impersonating a patient. Later that year, while out on bail, Love Robinson was arrested in Virginia after he tried to buy a Jaguar automobile with a stolen credit card. He pleaded guilty in both cases and was released in 2019. So, there's so many questions that I have. The part with the New Birth Life Medical Center, that's one of the questions. At 18 years old, where did he get the stuff or the resources to fake his credentials? Or were people just like, okay, well, he's 18, it's good, he's a doctor. What in the Doogie Howser is going on? Okay, you know what? Honestly, I think the sentence was a little too light. I would have given him 5 years because stealing $30,000 from a patient in her 80s with that, which I don't think, because 2016, he went to jail, got out in 2019. Yeah, I would have given him 5 years for that. Especially for somebody in their 80s, that's not cool. But whatever. This is the story. I'll just leave it at that. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting the podcast. Until next time, be blessed.